a big moment in your career. It happens when you join GWAR. That's not something the average person gets to go do, obviously. And being one of the probably like one of the most cult followed metal bands of all time. How did that happen? I mean, I kind of know a little bit of it because I was there to a degree.
Yeah, because you're one of the first
I got the
people
phone
I
call.
emailed, I think.
Yeah,
I was
well,
like,
I got
hey,
the
dude,
phone call. Yeah.
I'm gonna need a couple more guitars.
Yeah. So I know obviously there's tryouts and all that, but how does it get to that point before then? I mean, how do you get your foot in the door for something like that?
So Richmond is a very small city. You can literally drive across the whole thing in a matter of minutes, and it's not even an exaggeration. It's become a little bit more expansive in the last couple of decades, but whatever, it was still small. Like, I didn't even experience traffic, I think, until like 10 years ago. So we all kind of knew each other, and especially the generation that I was in was probably, I would say, the youngest of this like old Richmond thing. And I don't even know how to describe it, but there's definitely a divide between like even people just a few years younger than me. Like, they don't remember any of the older bands, like, at all. Like, so I think there's like some kind of a generational gap there, but I digress. So we all knew each other, like, and I was still a baby back then, but I, had come across Brocky and stuff when I was at shows, 17, 18 years old. And, they didn't know who I was, but I knew who they were, and we tried to talk to them or whatever. And then, so as you growing up and playing in more bands, you'll eventually cross paths, because that part of old Richmond, those guys like went to shows. GWAR was at shows. All the guys from Lamb of God, you'd see them at shows, before they blew up and everything. And even like other bands that came out of Richmond from that age group that were bigger, which were still firmly cemented in the local scene. And that's disappeared now. But so you just kind of know everybody. And so I knew Dave, and I knew Mike Dirks, and Corey Smoot, the guitar player who came in, like, I guess that was like late 90s, early 2000s. I can't remember exactly, but I think it might have even been like 01 or something. But anyway, he was from Chesterfield. So we didn't meet until maybe, I don't know, early 2000, late 2000s, the early 2000s or something. Teens, whatever you want to call them. Mm-hmm. Before 2010. And we were like, I had a jam space like 2 doors down from him in Chesterfield. And, we just kind of met in passing a little bit. I ended up dating a girl that was like, kind of grew up with him. And so we hung out even more. He ended up doing a record for me, like one of my bands, Antietam 1862. It's like a Civil War themed black metal band, and we recorded a record in his basement. So I kind of knew the guys from that. We did some shows together, and just different side projects. Corey had a bunch of different stuff going on, Mens Rea. So it was just really incestuous. And then through him, and I got to meet the guys even more, and was just kind of around. And I think that's really it, is just kind of just being present and being, recognized and being known. So it's not like we were hanging out every day with the GWAR guys, but they knew who I was. So when I guess he ended up passing away, died on tour, pretty traumatic time for the band. And it took them a little while to bring somebody else in. And they tried out a handful of people, and eventually I got that call.